Chelsea versus Manchester United. Everything you need to know before Saturday night at Stamford Bridge. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly nervous before a Chelsea home game? Not excited, not hopeful, but genuinely nervous in that way where you check the fixtures 3 times just to make sure the date is right. If you are a real Chelsea supporter, this Saturday night might be giving you exactly that feeling. Chelsea host Manchester United at Stamford Bridge this weekend, and this is not just another Premier League match on the calendar. This game could define the rest of Chelsea's season. It could change the mood around Stamford Bridge. It could save or sink Liam Rosenor job, and most importantly, it could decide whether Chelsea finish in the top 5 this season or watch their European dream fade away. There is a lot going on heading into this match. So let us break it all down together in the way we always do here at Lucy Chelsea Analysis. Simple, honest, and straight from the heart. How big is this game? Really, let us start with the numbers, because numbers do not lie. Chelsea go into this weekend 4 points behind 5th place Liverpool. 4 points. In football, 4 points is not a mountain. It is not even a hill. 4 points can be wiped out in a weekend. But here is the thing. Chelsea need to win games to close that gap. And right now, winning games is not something this Chelsea team is doing very well. Liam Rosenor has been in charge since January. He came in with a lot of good words and some interesting ideas. The fans were willing to give him time. The club backed him. And yet here we are in April, and Chelsea are sitting outside the top 5, looking up at clubs above them. What makes this even more painful is this. Rosenor has actually had a full week of preparation for several games this season. A full week with no midweek fixture to worry about. Just training, planning, talking to the players, and getting ready. And the results? 1 point from 9. Chelsea faced Burnley, Arsenal, and Manchester City in those games and came away with almost nothing. So the question every Chelsea fan is asking is simple. Does Rosenor actually know what he wants this team to do? And will we finally see it on Saturday night? The fans are starting to turn. This is a difficult topic, but it is one we need to talk about honestly here at Lucy Chelsea Analysis. The Chelsea supporters have been patient. Anyone who has been to Stamford Bridge this season knows the atmosphere has been up and down. There have been moments of real quality and flashes of the team Chelsea could become. But there have also been performances that left fans shaking their heads on the walk back to the tube station. In recent weeks, that patience has started to wear thin. The fans are beginning to turn on Rosenor. That is not an easy thing to say, but it is the truth. When the home crowd starts getting on the back of their own manager, it tells you something important about where the mood is at the club. Saturday night under the lights at Stamford Bridge is a huge opportunity. There is nothing quite like Stamford Bridge when it is buzzing. When the crowd is behind the team and the atmosphere is electric, Chelsea can be a very difficult team to beat. But if things go wrong early, if Chelsea give United a goal and the frustration builds, it could get very uncomfortable very quickly. What do you think? Can Rosenor turn the atmosphere around with one good performance? Or has the damage already been done? Enzo Fernandez is back, and he has something to prove. Now let us talk about one of the most interesting storylines heading into this game. Enzo Fernandez has been serving a 2-match in-house suspension. The Argentine midfielder has been away from the matchday squad, but he has been training with the first team during that period. And this week, he has been pictured back in full training with his teammates ahead of the United game. Let us be honest about something. The £107 million signing has had a difficult time at Chelsea. For a player who cost that much money, supporters expect a lot. They expect leadership. They expect quality every single week. They expect the kind of performances that justify that enormous transfer fee. Has Fernandez delivered that consistently? No, and most Chelsea fans would agree with that. There have been moments, flashes of the player that Chelsea paid for. But too often, Fernandez has gone missing in big games or looked like someone who is still trying to find his best form in the Premier League. Now, he comes back to Stamford Bridge for what could be the biggest game of his Chelsea career so far. He has a point to prove to the fans. He knows it. Rosenor knows it. The whole club knows it. One of the most interesting things to watch on Saturday night will be the reception Fernandez gets when his name is read out before kickoff. Will the Chelsea supporters welcome him back? Will there be some jeering? Or will the crowd give him the kind of support that he needs to go out and produce his best football? In many ways, the Fernandez situation tells the story of Chelsea as a whole this season. The talent is there. The quality is somewhere in there. But something is stopping it from coming out regularly enough, and everyone is waiting to see if it finally clicks into place. Do you think Fernandez can step up and be the difference maker in this game, or do you think he still has a lot of work to do before he earns back the trust of the Stamford Bridge crowd? Great news about Trevoh Chalobah. Amid all the pressure and the worry around Chelsea, here is a story that will genuinely lift the spirits of every supporter reading this. Trevoh Chalobah is back in training. Cast your mind back to just a few weeks ago. Chelsea were playing Paris Saint-Germain in the second leg of a European tie. Chalobah, who had been one of the most consistent performers in the Chelsea backline all season, was stretchered off the pitch. You could see on the faces of his teammates how serious it looked. The Chelsea fans watching that moment feared the worst. For a defender who had played such an important role under both Rosenor and his predecessor Enzo Fernandez this season, losing Chalobah felt like a real body blow. He is exactly the kind of player Chelsea need. Strong in the air, good with the ball, willing to put his body on the line for the team. He had been a mainstay at the back and suddenly he was gone. But here is the good news. The injury was not as bad as it first appeared. Almost 4 weeks on from that horrible moment against PSG, Chalobah has been spotted back on the training pitch at Cobham. He is doing work on the grass. Whether he is fully involved in the main session or just building up his fitness gradually, the fact that he is out there at all is a major positive. Chelsea need defenders who know how to defend. That sounds simple, but it is actually a problem this team has been struggling with. Having Chalobah back in the mix, even if he is not quite ready to start on Saturday, is a boost at exactly the right time. Whether Rosenor decides to use him against United or keep him on the bench while he builds up his match sharpness, his return is one of the better pieces of news to come out of Cobham this week. The Cole Palmer question. Nobody can agree on right. Let us get to the big one. The conversation that seems to dominate every Chelsea discussion right now. Cole Palmer, where do you even start with this one? Palmer is 23 years old and already one of the most technically gifted players in English football. Last season, he was spectacular, genuinely world-class at moments. The kind of player who could change a game with one touch, one run, one moment of pure genius. This season has been different. Palmer has scored 10 goals in all competitions. By the standards of most players, 10 goals is a solid return. But by Palmer's standards, by the standards set by what he did last year and what Chelsea paid for him and what the fans expect, it feels like a disappointing season. Palmer himself has admitted this. He recently said he feels he has turned a corner with his fitness levels, that he is feeling better, that the performances are coming, and yet Chelsea have not seen the results of that turnaround just yet. The goals have been there occasionally, but the consistent brilliance, the week in, week out impact that made him so special last season has been missing. Now here comes Saturday night, and here comes Manchester United. There is something very special about this matchup for Palmer personally. He grew up supporting Manchester United. That is where his heart was before Chelsea came calling. There has been a lot of noise in recent weeks suggesting Palmer might be unsettled in West London. Reports claiming he wants to go back to Manchester, to the red side this time. Chelsea have dismissed all of that talk and said it is not true, but the speculation has not gone away, and that creates a very interesting atmosphere around this particular match. Does Palmer go out on Saturday night and put in a performance that silences every single one of those transfer rumours? Does he score, create and show everyone watching that he is fully committed to Chelsea and focused on helping the club into Europe? Or does he have another quiet night that adds fuel to the fire of all those stories about his future? This is the kind of narrative that football writes for itself. Palmer, raised as a United fan, playing against United in arguably the biggest match of Chelsea season, with his Chelsea future hanging over his head in the background. If ever there was a night made for a big performance, this is it. The Chelsea fans need Palmer to turn up. The team needs him. And in a strange way, Palmer needs this game himself. One big performance can change everything. One goal, one brilliant assist, one moment of that old Palmer magic can remind everyone, the fans, the club, the watching world, exactly what he is capable of. So which version of Cole Palmer shows up on Saturday night? That might be the single biggest factor in determining what kind of result Chelsea get. What does Liam Rosenor actually need to do? Let us think about this from the manager perspective for a moment. Rosenor came to Chelsea with a reputation as a thoughtful coach, someone who develops players, someone with modern ideas about how the game should be played. He spoke well when he was appointed, and there were genuine reasons to be hopeful. But football managers are judged on results, not words, not training ground sessions, not interviews about philosophy, results. The numbers are not good enough. 1 point from the last 3 games where Rosenor had a full week to prepare his team. That is brutal. That is the kind of return that gets managers sacked at other clubs. What does Rosenor need on Saturday? He needs Chelsea to look organised. He needs them to compete. He needs to see some kind of identity, some sense that his players understand what they are supposed to do and how they are supposed to do it. A win would obviously be the dream result, but even a good performance in a defeat would give some hope. The fans need to see progress. There is a school of thought that says Rosenor has been unlucky, that the squad has had injuries, that the fixture list has been difficult, that he has not had enough time to truly implement what he wants to do, and there is truth in all of that. But there is another school of thought that says when you have the budget Chelsea have, when you have the players Chelsea have, there is no excuse for sitting 4th from 5th with games running out. What do you think is the real problem? Is it the manager? Is it the players not performing? Is it both? Let us know in the comments below, because this is a debate the Lucy Chelsea analysis community always handles well. The 3 key battles on Saturday night. Every big football match comes down to individual battles across the pitch. Here are the 3 matchups that could decide this game. First is Enzo Fernandez against whatever United put in midfield. If Fernandez comes back and dominates the middle of the park, controls the tempo, wins his tackles and keeps the ball moving, Chelsea can dictate the game. If he struggles or disappears like he has done in some previous big matches, United can get a foothold they should not have. Second is whoever starts at centre-back for Chelsea against United attack. This is a test of character and organisation. Chelsea have been shaky at the back at times this season, and United, even in their current state, have players who can hurt you on the break. If Chalobah is not ready, whoever partners at the heart of defence needs to have a huge game. Third, and most importantly, Cole Palmer against United right back. If Palmer gets into those pockets of space, receives the ball between the lines and starts running at the United defence, Chelsea will create chances. If he is quiet and peripheral, Chelsea will struggle to break down a team that will sit deep and make it difficult. Watch those 3 battles on Saturday night. They will tell you everything about how the game is going, what a win would mean for Chelsea. Let us imagine for a moment, Chelsea win on Saturday night. Rosenor sets up the team well, Palmer scores or creates something beautiful, Fernandez runs the midfield, the defence is solid, and Chelsea come away with 3 points. What does that mean? It means the gap to 5th place closes to 1 point potentially. It means Chelsea are right back in the conversation for European football. It means the mood around the club changes overnight. It means the fans who were starting to turn on Rosenor start to believe again. It means Palmer silences the transfer talk. It means Fernandez reminds everyone why Chelsea spent £107 million on him. A win on Saturday is not just 3 points on the table. It is a statement. It is a lifeline. It is a moment that could change the entire direction of the season. Football has a way of turning very quickly. One result can shift everything. One performance can change the whole conversation. Chelsea fans know this better than anyone, what a defeat would mean. On the other hand, let us be honest about the other possibility too. A defeat on Saturday, especially a bad defeat, could be very damaging. If United come to Stamford Bridge and win comfortably, the gap to fifth grows to 7 points. That becomes very hard to close. The pressure on Rosenor would become enormous. Questions about his future would get louder. The fans would be very frustrated. Stamford Bridge could become a difficult place to play for the Chelsea players. And the summer transfer window, which is always a huge topic at Chelsea, would be dominated by questions about whether the manager stays or goes and which players might leave. Nobody at Chelsea wants that. Not the fans, not the players, not the board. Saturday night is an opportunity to avoid that situation before it gets started. Our final thoughts before Saturday. This is what it comes down to. Chelsea have a big squad. They have talented players. They have a manager who has ideas. They have supporters who still believe, even if that belief is being tested right now. They have Fernandez coming back, refreshed and hungry. They have Chalobah building his way back to fitness. They have Palmer waiting for the game that finally unlocks his season. All the ingredients are there for something special on Saturday night. But ingredients alone do not make a meal. Someone has to put them together properly. Someone has to make the right decisions before the game and during it. The players have to run, fight, and believe for 90 minutes. The crowd has to get behind the team from the first whistle. If all of that comes together at Stamford Bridge on Saturday night, Chelsea can beat Manchester United. It will not be easy. It will be a tough, difficult, competitive match, but it is absolutely winnable. And in a season that has had too many disappointments, too many near misses, and too many frustrating performances, a big win over United under the lights at Stamford Bridge would mean everything. To every Chelsea supporter reading this at Lucy Chelsea Analysis, we will be watching every kick together as always. Before the game, share your prediction in the comments. During the game, keep the faith. After the game, we will be here to break it all down together. Come on, Chelsea. This one is ours to win. Written for Lucy Chelsea Analysis, your home for honest, passionate, and in-depth Chelsea football coverage. If you enjoyed this piece, share it with a fellow Blue and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one.